Nice arms up on your paws, eh?
Coach Terry Crook has taken countless runners through thousands of warm-ups. Endurance coaching for middle-distance runners is a long game, and the Calgary coach's philosophy is keeping the very hard work fun.
There we go.
When you're in a good place, good mental states, good times come. Great times come.
It's the right approach for runners like 22-year-old Eric Lutz, who has been coached by Crook since he was a young teen.
I broke my back, and Terry was a huge part of my recovery process and coming back and keeping the mindset that I could keep going forward with it. And so yeah, without him, I don't think I would have overcame those barriers for sure.
Last year, Lutz went on to win 2 gold medals at a national university meet.
Tell me how you'll remember your first Olympic race.
Oh, it was amazing.
Crook was also longtime coach to Maria Bernard until just before she competed in the 2016 Rio Olympics in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Even though she's training with another coach, Crook was out building her a steeplechase so she could train outside during the pandemic.
I think that's been my secret more than training, is that I have a personal relationship with each one of those guys. I actually care.
And to know where that compassion comes from, you have to know Terry Crook's story. He was raised by his Chippewayan mother, Amelia, and his Korean War veteran father, John, in Calgary. An urban upbringing that exposed him and his siblings to merciless racism aimed at the Indigenous kids.
And they used to call them some pretty bad words. It wasn't fun, because you'd never walked home. You're always tensed up, you're always fighting for everything, and it was a mean time. It was a time where we were the only brown guys in the school.
He found a refuge on the running track.
You know, it was my happy place. I enjoyed coming to track in every place. I enjoyed coming here, training hard all the time.
Crook says he didn't experience racism on the track at all. It was a safe haven from the youthful shame he felt for being Indigenous.
This is provincial high schools.
And he was good, nationally ranked. He even made it to the Olympic trials for the 3,000-meter steeplechase in 1980.
It was an accomplishment himself.
Crook wants the track to provide that same safe space for the athletes he coaches as it did for him.
Like for him, it's the idea that track helps you succeed in all these other areas, and I've really appreciated that with him, that at the end of the day, he just wants us to be successful people.
Crook is himself a work in progress. He has long since shed the childhood shame he felt about being Indigenous, but he's just now able to bear hearing details of the abuse his late mother suffered when she was taken from her family at just 4 years old and sent to the Blue Quills Indian Residential School.
She wet the bed at 4 years old. They lined up all the kids around the bed. My mom got whipped. Not right.
She didn't have enough to eat, and a skin condition was neglected.
She came back so covered, in such bad shape, she had to, 2 or 3 weeks in the hospital to get treated for that because they wouldn't treat her at the school.
Finally learning the details of his own family history is inspiring Crook's future as a coach. He's hoping to start a program to coach Indigenous youth from area First Nations, to pass on the freedom it brought him when he so needed it.
I want those other kids that I coach to feel that same way.
And the athletes he coaches now? Well, they think it's time to give back to Coach Terry Crook. They've nominated him for a prestigious National Indigenous Coaching Award. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Calgary.